All right, Coach, team heads back onto a plane this weekend, heading over to New Hampshire, a team that you haven't faced in a good amount of years, but a team that has played an awful lot of close games so far. I guess your overall thoughts early on in the week in facing them.
Watching them on video, their last couple of games, I thought they played extremely well. A tie with BC and UMass, who's a really good hockey team this year, and they were toe-to-toe with them as well. So, D-Corps, a couple of defensemen are really shifty and can join the rush. And, they've got a couple of 2.5, maybe 3 lines that are as good as anybody in our league and very dynamic. So, nothing like for us is usual stuff of being ready to play your A game and making sure that we're focused on the details and compete levels at a high level.
Last week you said getting into the thick of your schedule, the mindset and the attitude have to be right. What did you think of that this weekend and moving forward?
I thought Friday we could have been a little bit better to start with our mindset, and something again I think we're just still trying to learn and understand how to prepare and how our habits need to be a little bit better to start games. And I think that at the end of the day that comes down to the individual and making sure that he's responsible and accountable to himself and his teammates on what needs to be done. And I thought our mindset was very good on Saturday and great to start the game. And then we kind of got loose a little bit in the second period. And then it was a hockey game, a really good hockey game, back and forth. Both teams were taking chances, and both goaltenders played extremely well. And it comes down to a bounce in overtime. So still learning, still trying to understand our identity and making sure that we stick to our identity for 60 minutes. And, the good news is we haven't played a complete game yet, and we're still searching for that. So the process of us trying to get to that point is still there, and we have to be hungry and getting better every day.
You had like breakout sessions at practice, kind of like those, it seems like more like teaching moments. Is that what you're focusing on to try and get those details to where you want them to be? Yeah,
I think at this time of the year, you want to practice with pace, and we certainly did that or have done that, and we'll continue to do that. But at the same point, you gotta break it down now, because the details of the game are what's important. And we've been in a lot of close games, and we're going to continue to be in close games, and it's going to make 1 or 2 plays that are going to be the difference, and we want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Someone who definitely seems focused on the details is Ryan Larkin. Do you expect to rest him anytime soon to try and prepare for the continuing of your conference schedule?
When we decide on who's going to play on the weekend, it's a decision that we make the night before. We take everything into consideration, including our goaltending. Who's played well during the week, what's the process been like, and who's sharp and who's not. And so for us, it's a decision that we make, I don't want to say daily, but pretty much every week. And then obviously we reevaluate after Friday night's game and focus on Saturday's game. So whether you're a player, a defenseman, or forward, I should say, a defenseman or a goaltender, it's still your responsibility to be ready to go, and the decisions come down to the coaching staff and what we see and what we think is most important for a team at that point.
I know you take everything game by game, but is St. Cloud kind of looming in your mind? Are you going to use this weekend to prepare to play them?
Nope. We respect the heck out of UNH and their program, and I know their coaching staff very well, and they're going to be ready for us, and this is a huge test. This is a non-conference opponent that on the road in a hostile environment. Our focus is practice tomorrow, and then our focus will be practice Thursday, and then our focus will be on UNH on Friday.
You've mentioned consistency before, but what are you looking for that will lead to a weekend sweep that you had earlier in the season but have been kind of away from?
Well, again, I think it boils down to individual responsibility to be ready to play at a high level and understand the details of the game and what needs to happen. And hopefully we'll have a good game plan for them, and all they have to do is go out and execute. And and I know they're going to bring their A game. We have to bring our A game, and then whoever executes from there we'll win the game. And we can't focus on outcomes. We have to, focus on the details and the process of each game.
And you mentioned a little earlier how UNH plays a tight game, but you guys also do. Does it give you confidence knowing that you guys can play those 1-goal games and come out with a win?
Well, I think that means we're in our structure and we're not, doing things that are out of the ordinary. And I think if you look around college hockey, most games are pretty tight, and you got to be able to defend and you got to be able to execute when you have opportunities. And special teams really become a big part of that. And I think, to answer your question, if you keep playing close games, obviously you're going to feel comfortable in those. And but you also got to make sure that you're still focused on playing the game the right way.
Thanks, Coach. Good
Okay,
luck.
thank you.
All right, Derek, on the road again this weekend, stepping out to the east side of the country to face New Hampshire. Team's been battling with a lot of close games. New Hampshire plays a lot of those. I guess what's the preparation like early on this week with a short turnaround?
I think it's just like any other week. We need to prepare, we need to focus, and we need to get ready for the task in hand. And we need to go out there this weekend and outwork them.
What about your play has become comfortable that you think led to the Rookie of the Week honors?
I think it's just like the trust in the coaching staff, the ability that they put me on the ice, and just the overall transition. The guys in the locker room helped me a lot with the transition from junior hockey into college hockey, and I think it's just a combination of both of those two.
I know Coach frequently mentions at a certain point of the year, right around now, that the freshmen aren't really freshmen anymore. How do you feel, not just you, but your class itself has kind of grown over these first couple of months, and what kind of growth is still kind of ahead of you?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get acclimated, and like Coach says, freshmen aren't really freshmen. The guys have taken us into the locker room, and we're starting to contribute and starting to be a part of the team, and just starting to take a bigger role.
Obviously, it's nice to have Larkin stand on his head, keep you guys in the game, but what is the defenseman working on to maybe have him see less shots?
In practice, we work on stick on puck and blocking shots, and Larks really loves that. When we block shots, he always tells us thank you. So we tell him thank you when he blocks shots for us too.
Chad mentioned this a little, but UNH plays a pretty close game. What do you expect to be the difference this weekend?
I think our speed and our work ethic. I think if we go out there and outwork any team, I think we can play with any team. So if we go out there and outwork UNH, I think we can take it to them.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.